Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a tag video all about favorite eyeshadows. Not necessarily palettes, but really the specific eyeshadow themselves. And for the life of me, I don't even remember what the tag is. The individual shadow tag. There it is. I was tagged by Haley Evans. I'm going to link her below. Please go and check her out. She came up with this tag and she's just an all-around delightful human being. So please go and check her channel out and give her some support and love. And I will tag a few people down below as well. If you have a channel, feel free to let me know. I'd love to check your video out. If you don't, that's okay too. Just leave comments down below of what your favorite shadows are for each individual category because I would love to check those out. So I don't want to get too waylaid in an introduction here, so let's just do this. Haley broke it down into 8 categories, so I am just going to follow the ones that she created. And I haven't actually watched her video yet because I didn't want to be influenced. So once I've done filming this, I'm going to scurry on over to her channel and check her favorites out. I just didn't want to be swayed. I wanted to have my genuine input into this. So I'm going to follow the categories, but if there is any overlap in shadows, that is purely coincidental. Her first category that she came up with was Best Base Shadow. And I wasn't sure which one to choose. So I do have 2 that I typically use in combination with one another, but if you've watched any of my tutorial type videos, you will know that I almost always reach for the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. It's basically a cream shadow and I use this as an eyelid primer. The tone of it really just matches my skin tone and it helps to cancel out any discoloration that I have or veins on my eyelids and just gives me a nice smooth even canvas for doing shadow application. If I'm doing a brighter look, I've got a hair on my nose. If I'm doing a brighter look, I tend to just leave it tacky just so that the brighter shadows can really adhere to it and I can build the pigmentation up. But on an everyday sort of basis, I will set it down so that I can blend more easily and have a little bit more diffuse. Diffuse is a word, right? Diffused? More blended out shadows. I promise that I am actually highly educated, but that word is completely escaping me. To set it down, I like using Beaches and Cream from Makeup Geek. Again, the shade of this shadow really just matches my skin tone, so it's not lightening things up or deepening things up. It's not going to, manipulate the shadows that go above it. There it is. I still have that hair on my face. There it is on my finger there. And then if I swatch it out, you can see that it is very close to my actual skin tone. So when I'm looking to set my primer, that's really what I'm looking for, is something that's just going to set the primer but not add any color to it. The next category is Best Crease Shade, and I had a heck of a time with this because it really depends on what look I'm going for. So I didn't necessarily have a specific look in mind when I was sort of curating the shadows for this video, but I did grab a few and I'll just sort of touch on the benefits of each one, at least in my opinion. So one that I really enjoy is number M549 from Makeup Forever. And it's just a really cool toned shadow. And I really like this one for basically just adding definition. It almost acts like a contour shade for your face would. So I really like this when I'm doing basically no makeup looks. So I like to just throw this into the crease. Sometimes I won't even bother with liner or any additional shadows. I'll just do this just to add a little bit more definition to my eye shape. Throw on some mascara, a little bit of blush, lip gloss, concealer, we're good to go. So I really like that it's nice and cool toned without being ashy or too dark so that it's overly dramatic. On the opposite side though, I really like Poppy from Makeup Geek. It's just so nice and warm. and works with a number of different other colors with it. So there it is. And you can really blend it out. So again, it's not quite so in your face if you don't want it to be, but again, you can also build it up. So depending on the look that you're going for, this is actually a very versatile shadow, but I love the warmth that it gives. It's orangey and red. It's that perfect mix so that it's not difficult to pull off. Like a true red can be difficult, and it can make your eyes look diseased, really, if you don't pair it properly. And I don't know that I'm necessarily skilled enough to just really pull off red eyeshadow, but I really like this one because it has that warm tone to it, but it's still very wearable. It's a little bit outside of the box without being like avant-garde, if that makes any sense. It's late at night. I'm going to excuse myself based on that alone. Finally, for more what I'd call everyday looks, this is the Pure Visionary palette, and I love that the shadows in here pop out. This one is called Role Model. So there it is there. It's just a nice mauvey color, and there it is on my finger, and it has like a bit of a brown undertone to it, so it is quite earthy, and I just really like this one because it steers away from being a true brown, adds warmth, and I tend to gravitate towards warmer shadows, but it's just something a little bit different because it has that purple sort of shade to it. Moving along. Best lid shade. There are so many lid shades that I love, but one that just never does me wrong, can go with anything, looks beautiful all day long. I've talked about it a number of times on my channel. It is the Tarte Chrome Paint in Top Yacht, and it's just this beautiful goldeny champagne color. It's totally foiled. If you are like a matte lover, this is not going to be the shadow for you, but it's so pretty. Damn it, it's beautiful. And it lasts that true to tone all day. Whether you use a primer or not, it doesn't bunch up, it doesn't fade, it doesn't just disappear. It is, I've said it before, it is the best product that Tarte makes. I fucking love these. I have one other, and it's like a pinky gold, and I really love that one as well, but I find this one is the more wearable of the two. It pairs with everything, and it's just stunning. Next up is Pop of Color, and again, I could go in a million different directions with that, but so that we're not just doing a collection video at this point, I have narrowed it down to shades contained in 3 palettes. Good old electric palette from Urban Decay. Why they stopped making this, I will never know. And really any of these shadows are pops of color and absolutely beautiful, but the one that I just absolutely love is Chaos, this beautiful cobalt blue. There. My hand was a little bit wet still with the makeup remover, so it's kind of jacking up the swatch here. There we go, that's a bit better. Just rich, vibrant, beautiful color. You'll see a bit of a trend here because I love blue. So the blue is contained in the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette number 7. They're a little bit more muted in tone, I suppose you could say, but either of these two is absolutely beautiful. This one is more of a shimmer finish, and this one is a matte. There they are there, and again, just gorgeous, gorgeous colors. It's so pretty. Finally, the Rainbow palette from Violet Voss. Pretty much any shadow in here could act like a beautiful pop of color, whether it's in inner corner, lower lash line, center of the lid. Again, I gravitate towards those blues, but the purples in here are really gorgeous as well. There they are on the fingers. selection of them. The next category is inner corner, and I only have one shadow for that. It is Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek. This is one of their OG shadows. It's just a very pretty champagne color, again, highly reflective and shimmery. And it's not golden, so it goes with basically anything. If you're wearing a cool toned look, it's not going to be too warm for it, but if you're wearing warm toned, it's not going to be cool. It's just right smack in the middle, making it basically universally flattering no matter what look you're going for. The sixth category is transition shade, and this is the one that gave me the hardest time because, again, it really depends on the look that I'm going for. I have been sort of gravitating towards like mustardy yellows lately, and the one contained in the Gemini palette is just, it doesn't look all that pretty in the pan. This one here and also this one over here. But there's just something so earthy and just, I don't know how to explain it. They look like baby shit, frankly, but they're just the most beautiful baby shit I've ever seen. I don't know how to explain it, but they're effing gorgeous. Somehow. It's mystifying, but they are. So these ones as transition shades, I am wearing this one here in my transition today. All the shadows, with the exception of the inner corner, all of the shadows on my eyes are from the Gemini palette. I have not done a review on it and I have not filmed any tutorials because it was limited edition and Melt has said that they are not going to be restocking it. So I didn't really want to do a review on a product that if you haven't already bought it, you can't. So, I mean, if there's strong call for some if there is a strong call for some tutorials or like a 3 looks using the palette, if you want to see it, let me know down below and I'd be happy to film that, but it just didn't seem the most appropriate simply because it was gone in a hot minute and I have to thank my bestie Erin for grabbing it for me for my birthday. Thank you. Again, for more everyday, just heading out to the office or doing my groceries or whatever, this shadow right here, this is in the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette, and it is called, I have a hell of a time when they flip the shades on the back because I don't know if the shade that's on the left corresponds with this, but I'm pretty sure just based on the fact that one is Halo and one is Guava, that this is Guava here. And it's just a nice, light, warm brown, I guess. I'm terrible when it comes to warm and neutral and cool and all that shit, but there it is there. Again, it's just going to work with a number of other shadows and just be a really easy shadow to work with. All right, second to last, and the question is outer corner. So I have 2 shadows in the Warm Brown Obsessions that I really like for the outer corner. And they are these shadows right here. So you have a nice, deep, rich brown and then a dark, sort of plum kind of color. And I really like this deep brown because it just has this hint of warmth to it that just makes it a little bit more flattering than just a really dark, like fudgy kind of brown, if you will, at least on my skin tone. And there they are there. So again, depending on the look that I'm going for, either one of these are great options for deepening up that outer crease or lining my lower lash line. Last but not least is single shadow / all over lid shade. And I have 2 of them and I could not choose between the 2. One is I Heart This from ColourPop. And there it is in the pan. And this just, it packs a punch. Like, it is freaking gorgeous. Like, come on now. So this one is a little bit more, shall we say, high octane than the other option that I have, but it is just beautiful. I like to put this one all over the lid. I'll leave it just like that and just put mascara on, or I will put the Makeup Forever shadow into the crease and away I go. The other option is a little bit more subtle. This is from Lise Watier, and it is Sunrise Peach. And it's kind of like those color tattoos that Maybelline had, or has, I don't know. And it feels like silk. It has this beautiful consistency to it. And it is very subtle. There it is there. But again, it has that nice reflective nature to it. My hands are a little bit wet still from wiping off the other swatches, so it's kind of improving the overall performance. You can see it's a little bit more toned down from this one. It's got that peachy undertone to it as well, so it just adds a bit more warmth, whereas this one's a bit cooler. But again, this is one of those shadows that you apply it and it's going to last like this all day. And I really like it just on its own. Throw some mascara. I can't get away without concealer, so concealer, blush, lipstick, lip gloss, whatever, and away you go. And it just adds a little bit of life to my lids without being like, hey, look at my makeup. It's very subtle, although it has a sheen to it. And I just find that it's absolutely beautiful and performs a lot better than I thought it would. Even without a primer, it's just beautiful. I have the feeling that I'm going to hit end on my recording of this and think of like 7 other shadows per category that I could have included, but I'm going to draw an end to this here. Haley, thank you so much for tagging me. I really appreciate it. This is a fun tag to do. Really sort of thinking about your collection and looking at the shadows. There are no end of releases coming out, and it's nice to really sit back and look at what you have and really think critically about some of these releases and whether or not you really need to get your hands on them. For me, the Norvina palette's coming out, and I was like so tempted, but I really think that I've reached the stage in my collection now that I could look through it and find very similar tones, if not dupes, but very similar tones where if I want to make a purple eye, I have purple shadows. I don't need to hop out and grab that palette just because it's a new release. So that concludes this video. Again, I'm going to link a few people down below, and feel free to sound off in the comments of what your favorite shadows in each category are. And again, if you have a channel, please let me know. I'd be happy to check it out. And that's going to conclude it. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. I forgot something. We've hit 500 subscribers. 500 people have watched me and thought, hey, yeah, I want to hear more from her. That is mind-blowing, and thank you so much. I have put together a little collection of goodies. I am going to be doing a giveaway for these goodies. It's nothing hugely extensive, but hopefully there's some items in there that you'll be excited to receive if you are the winner. I will post it, let's see, I will post the details on Sunday, which is going to be, what is the date on Sunday? So not prepared for just general life. The 29th. So Sunday, July 29th, I am going to post details of the giveaway, including rules, all that good stuff, on my Instagram page. So I'm going to put my name right here, hop on over to Instagram, check my page out on Sunday, and you will find the details there. So again, thank you. So you honestly have no idea how much that means to me. I know there are channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and that's awesome, but in order to get to that level, you gotta start at 0. And for me, 500 is a huge achievement, and I really appreciate it. I really do. I have so much fun making these videos. I love interacting with you guys, so thank you for being a part of my world and for bringing joy to me. I love you, and I really appreciate you. Thank you. All right, on that note, bye-bye, and I will see you in my next one.